guess we on. It's time to work, baby. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And, well, technically, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I assist other people in coming to terms or understanding their emotional pattern and blockages, as well as their intellectual I mean, not just capacity, but their intellectual conditioning. Another way of saying that is mind control. And ultimately, to be healed, to become in harmony with yourself, you have to understand the mystery of those different aspects of you. And that's what the healer does. Technically, I come in, and it's being done in different forms too. It's done through um, either you want to call it a shaman that does it, like that's dealing with herbs and things of that sort. And they also understand your aura, the connection again to what we were talking about. I guess in understanding the mystery of that, that's why those healers, they are among us. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's done in different levels. But ultimately, it all comes down to, that higher state of consciousness. By solving those different mysteries, understanding them, and helps you to transcend to a higher state of consciousness. Now you know exactly who you are, and that's where the confusion stops, or the illusion stops. In other words, you have transcended. You are no longer either or. You're not playing the game like you winning in the game or you're losing in the game. You're out of the game. Winning or losing doesn't make a difference for you. If you're still playing the game, well, you already know. So that's what we're talking about here. And that's what they're saying. Technically, when you become whole or when you discover or you know the truth, it will set you free. But anyway, that's what I do. Now, if you're coming back, you already know it's always a pleasure having you guys in. So let's, get a plate. It's always a holy communion. So let's do this, right? So what we're going to be talking about tonight is that your humanity is your spirituality. Let me say that again. Your humanity is your spirituality. So, but for you to understand that, you would have to, I guess, since we were talking about understanding the mystery of the world that you're living in, the Indian call this earth Maya. In my opinion, I think this is the best way to actually describe it. Now, Maya means illusion. Now, illusion simply means, well, I shouldn't say simply. Well, it is simply means. That's what illusion, well, anyway, that's what makes it. It simply means what you think you see, what you're looking at, that's not what it is. Things are not as they appear. That's what illusion is telling you. For instance, quantum physics now, has defined what you call in material as condensed energy. So they are confirming what the Indian knew and all of the occultists knew. And that's what we're calling this an illusion. You think you're looking at a material thing, but it's really a spiritual thing. That's why your humanity is your spirituality. Because all of your growth, your learning has to take place with the people that you know. For you to be able to forgive them, to heal yourself, all of that is part of dealing in your fucking humanity. you can't become fucking spiritual if you still have hate or holding on to certain things. Or do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's why you have to heal yourself. That's why they tell you you won't be able to make it to certain portals. You got to get lighter and lighter. But do you see the term that I'm using though? Lighter and lighter. Again, this is referring to different type of energy. That's how you have to transcend. And that's how the more you transcend, you doing so by seeing this reality for what it is. Because ultimately, if you have a fucked up mother or a good mother, they all play a part in your spirituality. Meaning in your emotional pattern and or blockages, depending on how that experience went. But ultimately, you have to go now, as you become older, now you got to use your intellect to heal that wounded child. In other words, we're talking about the very young emotion that you had that you were not in control of. But this is also showing you those early emotions, they are shaping you a certain way. And we're just talking about your humanity here. That's why your humanity is as equally important as you becoming spiritual. Because it is those patterns that allows you to become fully awakened. How can you get rid of it? Do you see what I'm saying? Your parents, your mom, good or bad, man, could fuck your life up. By, either a lack of showing you love. So especially at a young age, think about this. If you've never been held as a young age, it would be tough for you to allow other people to embrace you, man, because you're not used to it. So I'm showing you how important your emotions are. So now by you acknowledging that, you're coming to terms by opening up. Say, oh, okay, I know I'm not used to it, but it's okay for me to love. Or even for you to forgive your mom or love your mom, whatever the fuck, depending on what the situation is. So that's why your family plays a big part in your spirituality. The great Bobby Hemmett said this shit, right? This nigga was talking about how big the world is. So everybody pretty much, that is your, let's just say your siblings, the people you grew up with, those are not fucking accident. Even if you don't remember the motherfucker, or even if you don't know him, you cross the street from this nigga, like, it's all part of the plan. They all have an impact on the person that you are. The neighborhood that you were actually raised from, your culture, your nationality too, can, plays a big part in your spirituality, depending on how you go about it. Or you don't go about it too. Doesn't matter. So everything you do, everything you come in contact with, in other words, humanity, which is this world you're living in, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, is your spirituality. It's the foundation of your growth. Your growth depends on it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this world. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's how you truly come to terms with it. Then you understand it's not really about a separation. But for you, that's when you gotta see the fucking illusion, though. That's what, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Do you see what I'm saying? Technically, when we're talking about your shadow work has to do with your, let's just say, your families, your immediate families, these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like how good or how bad they were to you or what you were lacking and all that shit. Then you gotta go forgive motherfuckers and all that shit, man. That's what your spirituality is. And there's no way, I mean, I'm not saying forgive them as, what I'm saying, getting back with them or release them, whatever the fuck we're talking about here that people are saying forgiveness, letting go, but forgiving who? Your fucking environment. So if your fucking humanity. You know what I'm saying? Everything, your humanity is your fucking spirituality, nigga. Niggas that are killing niggas, the niggas that are selling drugs, all that shit is part of your spirituality. Is your spirituality. I know for me, understanding it, seeing it, not being part of it, knowing that there's something greater, all of that's playing a big part. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we have that connection with everything that's taking place. That's why we are human, a spirit having a human experience. So the experience would have to be as, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you neglect or negate or even trying to denigrate the motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, that part of you that allow you to grow? That is the foundation of your growth. There's no growth without it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You're not on Earth by accident. The fuck? Is this an accident? So your humanity, man, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So that's why it's important. It's not about your knowledge. It's not about how much you know or how little you know. You know what's truly about? It's truly about how you're looking at things, how you're looking at what you know. That's why, you know what I'm saying? If you're playing the game, if you're eating from the tree of good and evil, stay away from it, guys. If you're going to eat that fruit, man, listen, that's the fruit of illusion itself. That's why you'll never come to see me, man. You know what I'm saying? But you hear about me, though. You know what I'm saying? I want you to, I want you to be where I'm going. But not too many people could go there, though. I gotta warn you. I gotta warn you. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So, niggas, how do you, how do you denigrate it? How do you downplay something that elevated you, man? Huh? What you doing? So what we're talking about here is how you're seeing things. It's not how much you see or how little you see. You know what I'm saying? How are you looking at it? Because that's what's going to make the difference. Yeah, you could see a whole lot. But how are you looking at it, though? That's why we talk about having a European perspective and an African perspective. So your spirituality, in so many words, you know what I'm saying? It's you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at it on that other side. You gotta turn the other cheek, baby. Which is the harmony and the balance. Because until only then you could see what the fucking illusion is. Do you see what I'm saying? Now at this point, it's not even important for me to say fuck Earth. I mean, what difference does it make? I know it's a fucking illusion. See, so if I'm saying fuck it, that's almost like, like it's another fight in itself. Even your humanity, because all of our spiritual growth stems from this fucking humanity shit. Either we got to learn how to forgive, we learn how to open up our heart more, the love being open. All of that shit is manifested in the fucking human life. Is it not? Then now we're trying to awaken other people in this human life to have a better look at it because they tripping. How did you miss that? Do you see what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here, man. So, oh man, I'm wilding. So, guys, listen. That's why it's important for you to understand the mystery of everything that's taking place. Meaning, now that you know what you're looking at, it's not what it is. It's like, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? You never see a bitch with a fat ass after you fuck her. It's like, that's the fucking illusion, man. You came, it was the same shit. Same type of ass. You know what I'm saying? Same type of pussy, bro. And the same type of cum. Unless, now you make it valuable by adding other things to it. Such as, I don't know, the right one. Or the one that goes with you. Because ain't no fucking right one. But the one that, that matches, man. You gotta get your size, baby. So again, it's all spiritual. Your humanity is the foundation, is your spirituality. The shadow work that's taking place is taking place. Why? Because of humanity. Now we have to come in terms, or now we have to acknowledge your shadow. Because when you have anxiety, when you're exploding or being triggered, that's when you're not in touch. You have not acknowledged that feeling. You're in denial with yourself, with your own self. So for you to get lighter, to have your light or your heart to be as light as a feather, that's why you have to understand those mysteries. You got to go through those different understanding portals, human shit, however the fuck you want to call it. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? All that shit we're talking about it from here. So how is this not a fucking spiritual, as spiritual as anything else? Man, like, oh, you somehow transcended time, and here you are now talking about spirituality. Do you see what I'm saying? Is that what happened? Because I would like to know. Hold up, let me put the light on me, man. Nigga, shit, this is getting better. You know what I'm saying? Because I just gotta understand a couple things. You feel me? Is it, when we're talking about the spiritual masters, right? Are they somehow, well, I mean, for the most part, you can say they have transcended time. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely say the same thing, but would I be able? I mean, can I also ignore the physical part? I mean, their physical aspect as well. You see what I'm saying? And I know for me, again, that's why we call it a fucking illusion, right? Because we're thinking there's a separation. We're looking at it instead of understanding that it's not what we're looking at, but we're looking at it for what it is. You saying that's what it is. That's what the illusion is. You don't see it. Because the illusion is telling you, I'm not what you think I am, or what I appear to be. That's not what it is. That's what it is, man. So that is why once you understand the science of self, or you have self mastery, or you have solved, then you realize that you are spirit. Like when people or all of those spiritual masters are telling you that we are spirit, once you activate it, meaning now you become in alignment with that, you're looking at yourself as being a spirit. So you activate your spirituality. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's where sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of us kind of go left. Now, by you activating your spirituality, depending on how heightened or the state of consciousness, then you got to be careful because you may still fall for the fucking illusion. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you say fuck humanity, or you removing humanity from your spirituality. Meanwhile, the essence of your growth is on this in this what I mean realm. That's why they call it Maya. In this realm is a fucking illusion. So you fell short. So do you see what I'm saying? Your humanity is everything because that's where you are. Now, of course, like in through the cycle or through times, as the spirit is moving, expressing itself, and that self of expression is being done in a way, that's what we're calling time, whatever the fuck. If you can follow what I'm trying to tell you here, is that because everything you do, it's all spirit expressing itself. The problem becomes when you don't know that's who you are. Now you live in the fucking illusion. Then you're looking at this life. Your purpose is to be successful, get a good job, go to a good school, have good friends, or be a fucking millionaire. I'm not saying none of these things are, any of these things are bad. What I'm saying is that has become your condition, your ways of looking at life. Do you see what I'm saying? And by you looking at life in that perspective, you have missed who you are. And that's why, a lot of you guys are being put to sleep the minute that you are, like, oh, if you see the Matrix where you have all those babies or, what I'm saying? That's how they got you guys already down here from the time you were born. You go through the system, and the system that's what mind control is. We're not talking about making you do things you don't want to do. A lot of people sometimes they look at mind control like they're making you do that things that you don't want to do, like they're fighting your mind. That's not what mind control is. There's no fight in fucking mind control. When we're talking about mind control, it's how you've been conditioned to think. Period. Like I'm under mind control. The spirit control. The cosmic control. That's what makes me cosmic. Now, because now my reality is based, stems from that energy. Now, unfortunately for other people, like I said, now your interpretation of life has been based on a 3D perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like you just looking to work, eat, shit, I guess fuck, and then that's it. That's what your definition of life is. crazy. Well, I mean, not crazy, but it's mind blowing. Yeah, that blow my mind. You see what I'm saying? But I'm also saying this to show you how your spirituality, not only that it is your spirituality, but obviously how a lot of us are lost in it. But obviously, once you understand yourself, you may not, what I'm saying, you'll know exactly not to be lost in it. That's why a lot of you motherfuckers are playing a losing hand. Player, you gotta play the winning hands, man. That's how you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? Talk to me correctly here. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let's work it out. So that's why, what I'm saying, like your immediate family plays a big part in your spirituality, in your growth as a person. Do you see what I'm saying? As a person, but most important, and again, as a spiritual being. Because all of that is in perfect alignment. The more you grow intellectually, well, not necessarily means you're going to grow spiritually, but what I'm trying to say is, like when you know better, you do better. Like certain state of mind that you have, that's how you get your heart to be as light as a feather. That has to do with a state of consciousness. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is not, what I'm saying, I guess depending on how you're looking at it, it could be your purgatory. That's what the Catholic uses pretty much. It's not the same thing because the purgatory is the spot that you go to get cleansed and then for you to be able to transcend. I mean, not, but okay. Let me stretch. Okay, let's just stretch a little bit. Yeah. Then now, you got to go through this portal. They got to weight your heart. The only thing about the purgatory is you go cleanse to go up, so there's no going back. But with the whole Anubis shit, or having your heart as light as a feather, it would be more Judgment Day type of shit. It doesn't have to be dramatic. I mean, you could take it like in fucking, you know, like dramatic way. You know what I'm saying? Like Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Whoa. Or simply, you're not allowed to get to the other portal. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting as light as you are. As you are. You're not in connection. That's how you were sent back. Or you lost in the cycle of death and rebirth, which is also your spirituality. So you felt at your own, being pretty much, and that's what being lost is. You don't know who you are. Forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why, like, how do you negate humanity? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, now let's look at it. I'm trying to look at it in different angles. Let's just say you had a bad fucking experience. Is it that bad though? See, that's where how you're looking at things plays a big part. Because yes, meanwhile, yes, it was fucked up. Yes, you didn't see certain things. Yes, 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 yes. But now you got to see shit differently too, though. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is not even capping. Or it's not like trying to even be positive, but nigga, those two happen simultaneously. How do you say which one's greater? If you are in your feelings, then you have not grown. I mean, you are not grow. You know what I'm saying? You being emotional at this point, you're gonna say this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But if you have conquered that emotion, healed yourself, yo, you learn from it, bro. Yeah, it was a motherfucker, but guess what? That motherfucker gave you something. That's why our fucking experience never goes away. That's why like you've never outgrown a situation, and then when you see it again, you like you know how to better approach it because you smelled it before. Like, does it smell good? I smelled that before. I know, no, 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 no. Yeah, it's that way. So I'm saying all that to say, your humanity is your spirituality because all the growth that's going to be taking place is happening around you. It's happening in the 3D. Then now you have to transcend that. So this is as equally, you know what I'm saying, like powerful as as lack of better terms, as your spirituality. That's why when you had that understanding, now that is African based because spirituality is harmony. That's where the scale, the ma'at, represents. How light can your heart be when you don't give a fuck about either? There's no separation. Oh, you like a motherfucker. I I could speak from experience. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple things or two. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I know things or two. You know what I mean? I know a couple things. So it's how you're looking at shit, baby. You got to get your visions right. You see what I'm saying? You can still use the same eyes, but you just got to turn that other cheek. You ain't got to change the eyes. You will keep that. But you got to change the operator, or you got to tap into, you know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to switch up. You got to switch it up. And by switching it up, that's the activation of the spirit. Now you becoming spiritual. That's another way of saying being born again. It's all of that. It's all of this bullshit. Listen, man. Simplicity reveals the true master, man. That's what we're doing. We're showing, yo, listen, man. This is your spirituality, dog. I see you twerking, girl. You know what I'm saying? I see a spirit twerking. You know what I'm saying? I look at the you're twerking. God damn, that's a lot of energy there. You know what I'm saying? How about the self? Okay, you've forgotten about that, but you got your ass though. Lost. That's all it is. Compassion. We love all of them. Namaste to them, because we see the God that's in us in them, even when they have not activated it, but we know it's there because we passed through. We could see through the fucking illusion. Oh, the monks be on some shit. You know what I'm saying? They be on some shit, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are some badass, man. I ain't gonna lie, though. I'm saying, I ain't gonna lie. Nigga, if I'm lying, I'm flying. You know what I'm saying? Shit, well, I guess I'm already flying. But I'm not lying, though. You know what I'm saying? So check this out, though. So in other words, I'm saying I'm telling you about all of that for you to understand the mystery behind everything, behind our actions. Even when someone got triggered, think about it. You got triggered. It happens. It happens in the 3D. You would say certain words, the person got triggered, or they got to protect. You know, the part that they don't want to acknowledge. And as a healer, I'm healing you. And that's why earlier when I was talking about understanding your emotional patterns and also your blockages, and for your mind to become in alignment with those two. And that's what the whole healing is all about. But all of that is taking place in your humanity. Your understanding of spirituality, it's in your humanity. Come on now. How are you looking at it? I know you see a lot. I get it. You see a lot. But how are you looking at it though? Because when you find out how you're looking at it, the a lot or the little that you think that you was able to see didn't matter. That's why knowledge doesn't matter. This is another way of me telling you knowledge doesn't matter. But what matters is understanding, consciousness. Consciousness and knowledge is different. That's why without consciousness, you cannot understand this knowledge. It's not the type of knowledge that you use, you know what I'm saying, for, 2 plus 2, you know what I'm saying? It's not that logical type of shit. It's not how much, okay, none of that shit. It all comes down to you knowing who you are. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You could talk a good game, but if you don't know who you are, or you know what I'm saying, or you creating a separation between you two, you falling short, baby. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why quantity and quality can't match. Quality will always be quality. Nigga, listen, I'm originally from Haiti, man. Like, yeah, I used to eat a lot of mango and all that shit, nigga. I'm saying I could tell you this much. You can have 20, 30, 50 unripe mango. Then you got 2 ripe mangoes. Those 52 doesn't matter because you can't eat them. So it's not about the quantity, man. Never was. It's quality, baby. Don't cheat yourself. Love yourself. It was never about how many degrees your accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about how much you're doing, but it's the quality in what you're doing. Who are you? It's that connection. That's what matters. That's the science of the motherfucker that was by Jesus, who was a killer. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus, he said, Jesus, yo, don't forget about me, dog. Nigga said, shit, you right here with me, nigga. That's what it all comes down to. That's why just getting to know yourself, that's what it is. But to arrive to that state of consciousness, nigga, it's gonna take work. Yeah, that's work, nigga. I know, I kind of made it sound easy because it is. And even the work is part of the transformation because it's got to be applicable. The words got to be made flesh. You have to embody this human experience consciously. So, with that being said, we're gonna leave it there. Your humanity is your spirituality. You know what I'm saying? You might have to rewind this. For you to understand the mystery of that, then that's how you become free. That's how you become free. Meaning by seeing things for truly what they are. You know what I'm saying? Now that fat ass is no longer a fat ass, dog. You're like, God damn, bitch, you fat ass. That's that great. That's why women, in so many words, is being attached or, with that lust. The beauty and all that shit. And then that's how they got you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You walking around with a pretty bitch. I'm just saying, man, like, this shit goes deep, man. Shit goes deep. But anyway, but that's the beauty of understanding or solving the mystery. This is your spirituality, baby. This is your work. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Forgive others and all that shit. That's a physical work. That's your humanity work. Because if you don't do it, there's no one in this realm, because that's what Maya is, the realm of illusion, that can, you know what I'm saying, like, who has become a master, whatever the fuck, who have not gone through that type of work. That work is the foundation of all of them. There's no spiritual book that's going to tell you, either they tell you about the ego, well, that's mostly the European base, because that's their foundation, because they already conditioned their mind with greeds and all that shit. So their ego was never their servant. It was always their masters. So now at this point, for you to conquer yourself or to transcend, so their foundation is that. You know what I'm saying? You could sound good all you want. How you looking at it, though? You could see a lot, you could see little. The way you look at it makes a world of difference. That's why having a positive outlook on life all comes with a higher state of mind. And when I say a positive outlook, that's when you also acknowledge the negativity, but you look at the bigger picture. How bad can a fucking experience really is if you're able to grow from it. You know what I'm saying? How bad was it? Really? Motherfucker that went to jail and then changed his life. So how bad was that fucking experience? Now you're talking about positivity, trying to stop other brothers from not going to jail and all that shit. You see how vital that fucking experience is? How do you dissociate that from that person? Your spirituality is your humanity, my niggas. You already know. Aishin, bra, Mali.